Welcome to the Science Shaping Beauty, the official podcast of the New York Society of Cosmetic Chemists, where we share everything you need in beauty and personal care product development, from formula to finish. I'm your host and NYSCC chair, Anushka Nadkarni. As we explore the breakthroughs shaping our industry, we are counting down to the NYSCC Suppliers Day, May 19th and 20th in New York City, the must-attend event for ingredients, insights, and inspiration. Our first guest today is Jim Berkrot, a beauty industry expert with more than 3 decades of experience, spanning ingredients, product development, and global skincare trends. With a deep understanding of cosmetic raw materials and what truly drives efficacy, Jim has been a trusted voice across the industry. Our second guest is Gabriella Yankovich, a beauty industry professional with experience across formulation, regulatory, and business strategy. She brings a well-rounded perspective on marketing and an evolving world of personal care. Gabby brings a thoughtful perspective on ingredient storytelling, product development, and the evolving needs of today's beauty consumer. So let's dive in. Could you both elaborate what you do professionally? Maybe, Jim, you could go first.
Sure. Thank you so much for having me here. It's an honor to be on this beautiful new podcast. So I'm very excited. So thank you so much, Anushka. My name is Jim Berkrot. I'm a beauty industry executive. My current position is at Mitsui & Co., Vice President of the Beauty Personal Care Group, as well as I am the Chief Commercial Officer at Dermaceutical Laboratories in New Jersey, which is a contract manufacturing company.
Amazing. Then Gabby.
And hi, thank you as well for hosting us. Really appreciate it. What a great opportunity. And on beautiful Valentine's Day. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
Happy Valentine's.
I'm Gabriella Yankovich. All sharing the love. I'm Gabriella Yankovich, and I work symbiotically with Jim at Mitsui & Co., and they're working in beauty product development and marketing for all wonderful ingredients that are upcycled and can be making skincare, hair care, cosmetics, and sun ingredients.
Lovely. You guys do very important jobs, so let's give it up for you guys, definitely.
Thank you.
My next question for you, Jim, is what led you to this industry?
Oh, it's been a long and wonderful road. My father, Marvin Berkrot, started a contract manufacturing company in 1975 when I was 5 years old. So I've just given away my age. And I literally would go to him on every school break to work in the laboratory, the batching area, the filling area, the warehouse, you name it, until I finally graduated college and I went into business development. So I literally was born into the beauty business, specifically contract manufacturing. And it has been a wonderful privilege to have had so much varied perspectives in learning, so that I can really, I had the ability to sell from strength right out of graduating from college. And I worked with such eponymous brands as the Estée Lauder companies, L'Oreal, 3M, Bath and Body Works, Victoria's Secret Beauty, Halston Borghese, many others. So I got to learn the beauty industry from a very young age. And then after my father had sold his business to private equity, I worked for the new company to help build that business. At that point, I went to Bentley Laboratories, which is where you are now, Anushka. So we didn't unfortunately get our paths to cross each other, but I wish we could have. And I helped to build Bentley Laboratories until they sold to private equity. And then 5 years ago, Mitsui & Company, about 5 years ago, they were looking for an industry executive that has connections in the industry, relationships, because they wanted to build their beauty personal care ingredient sales. And Gabriella started working for us about 3 years ago. Gabriella, is that right?
Yeah, going into my 4th year next month.
I can't believe it. So after Gabriella and I helped to build the beauty personal care raw materials, Mitsui asked me to search the country for an acquisition target to acquire, and we ended up acquiring Dermaceutical Laboratories. So now I have a role both at Mitsui and as Chief Commercial Officer at D-Lab, Dermaceutical Laboratories.
Jim, you have a story for the books. Let's just say that.
Definitely.
Even though I'm 56 years old, I think I have 50 years experience in the business.
It's all of the skincare.
And I mean, how many people can say that, right? It's such an experience. Love
I'm very
that.
fortunate. I'm very fortunate. And I love our industry. It's so dynamic.
It is. It is. Gabby, my question to you is, with your profile in sales and marketing and product development, how important it is for you to have ingredient or product knowledge?
I actually think it can be truly essential. It's not a requirement, but it can really be a benefit when you're speaking to different ingredients or trying to understand the side of chemistry. When you're a chemist and working in R&D, you know the formula is key to the success of a product. You can always try to ask, marketing, they want a nice label, they want to put a certain claim, but in the end, the science matters. So when you want to explore different ingredients, that's why I actually started out in food science as my undergrad, because I wanted to understand different kinds of applied sciences that we can use every day and incorporate in our lives. So, and then once I gravitated deeper towards cosmetics and the beauty industry from personal passion, I decided to get my master's in cosmetic science through a distance learning program in the UK. That deeply helped me understand more so what I was speaking to, not only in my meetings, but even when you and I are having conversations in our chemist society or just meeting people on the street. And now skincare is so hot. Everyone's talking about it in social media.
Yeah.
The second I mention my job, everyone perks up, especially women and now men.
Correct.
And they have questions.
Right.
And I want to make sure that I'm speaking with an expertise and an understanding that's valuable knowledge. So not a requirement when you're in sales, but the more knowledge you have, the better, for sure.
My take on that, sorry, go ahead, Jim.
I can attest to Gabriella's breadth and depth of knowledge for being relatively new to the beauty industry. Gabriella came in with points of strength that I hadn't really seen before from food science. And then out of self-interest, Gabriella took the cosmetic science classes. So Gabriella has a thirst and a hunger to learn and learn in depth, and the ability to communicate what she knows very, very well to anyone in the industry or even out of the industry.
Right. And I attest to that too.
Thank you.
Whatever conversations I've had.
For sure.
And my next category would be talking a little bit about diversity and inclusion. Yeah. My question for the two of you, and Gabby, you can go first for this one. What does diversity inclusion mean to you?
Well, this is a wonderful alignment since I'm the committee chair for our DEI committee in NYSCC. And what drew me to it, because we're so present now and very understanding and open in this generation and all generations of who we are, accepting one another. People really love and accept one another and are more so today than ever before in our understanding. And when it comes to connecting people, that's what diversity is. The different ways of who we are, where we come from, how we live our lives. There's actually so many ways that we understand each other's morals and values and methods through our diversity. And what I love is that in the beauty industry, the diversity can be who we are as our culture and our religion and our ethnicity. But I also visualize it through the science of like our skin composition, the diversity of our hair texture, how porous your skin is and oily with accepting certain oil-based versus water-based ingredients. So the diversity in our actual chemical composition of our body profile, I think, is a much more unique aspect of how we can connect and understand how to build the best kinds of products for everyone on the market. Because there's so many out there and it's like, what do I need? What do I use? And it's like, well, you're a diverse being with a microbiome. Everyone has their own microbiome, skin, scalp, gut. And you have to make sure that you can find the right fit, but it connects us to understand the different textures and topics. And
That's
really
amazing.
appreciate the diversity that way.
That's amazing. What about you, Jim?
Oh, firstly, I'll start by saying we all look the same on the inside. We all feel the same range of emotions as human beings. We are all citizens of planet Earth.
True.
So I think that the diversity in the beauty industry and equity inclusion is wonderful because it's an industry that's related to artistry, right? You have makeup artists. And I think that the arts have always been more open to accepting people of different backgrounds, different lifestyles. So for me, having been born into this industry has been wonderful. It has not been male-dominated industry where one might feel uncomfortable if they didn't quite fit in. However, I have a funny story. So several times throughout my history, my partner Michael and I would go to dinner parties or cocktail parties, and at some point in time, all of the guys who came with their girlfriends or wives, all of the ladies would be surrounding me in a corner. And the guys are looking like, what is Jim saying and doing that all the ladies have he has their attention?
Yeah.
And I would be talking beauty products. And they would ask me, so what are the best products? What are the best ingredients? What really works? Should I spend so much money on this or that? And the guys were just dumbfounded. They're like, that's amazing.
The secret of beauty.
You are one charmer, Jim. You also say that. Love that. So, Gabby, question to you, right? What has your experience been with respect to diversity and inclusion in our industry?
Well, Jim actually touched upon it just now, where starting out, like the beauty industry, people forget is chemicals.
Yeah.
Like chemicals and oil is all based on a specific type of person that was creating the industry and developing. Right. Men were developing beauty products for women, and none of the women were in the labs. And it was like that for a very long time. Yeah. And so I've been in the industry now for about 6-7 years. And even when I was starting out, I was the first one. In my first few roles in the chemical side of manufacturing, I was one of 2 women surrounded by a lot of much older men. And they were all the salesmen. They were all of the chemical creators. And now I'm very grateful that it's become so fulfilled and satisfied with all these different diverse people. Right. You can have any kind of hair color. You can have tattoos. You can have any background. It's all about what do you bring to the table of creating the right product that make people feel beautiful inside and out. So you can definitely have the challenges, but I'm glad that it's changed so much to incorporate a lot of different types of people and ideas. Because like as a industry targeted to women, a lot of the women should be at the table, actually helping, coming up with the ideas, understanding what's really to be. And even now, understanding that a lot of these beauty products aren't even catered to our pH. It's actually catered to like the men's pH of different like toothpaste balance, where actually women are more acidic versus men have a more basic mouth. Mm-hmm. So now I'm actually trying a different toothpaste that's catered to more of a woman's kind of microbiome profile.
Correct.
So the diversity is
to what
important
Gabriella,
to incorporate.
to your point, Gabriella, this years ago, the CEW, Cosmetic Executive Women, the reason it's named CEW is because no men were allowed. This is back in the 80s and 90s, before you were born, probably. And I remember the year that the CEW was opened up to men becoming members. I'm like, hallelujah, finally.
You're on the other side. You're like, I want to be in this girls club.
That's right. Absolutely. And also the other aspect of DE&I I'd like to include is that, to Gabriella's point, everyone is an individual, right? Yeah. Even though we all look the same and feel the same on the inside, we have different needs for our skin, our scalp, our hair, and our bodies for the proper raw materials, pH of products. Some people's skin types are more oily or more dry, or hyperpigmentation, hypopigmentation.
Right. You only have one kind of person. You're only going to have one kind of thought process and only target one kind of solution and problem. Yeah. So it's better to have a lot of minds and create a lot of different solutions for people.
Yeah, I think the industry is changing for the good, and so I'm definitely hopeful that there's a lot more. If we've just scratched the surface at this point, I feel like there's so much more that we could explore.
Yeah.
So very hopeful for what's next.
Yeah. Definitely.
Agree.
So Jim, for you, my next question is: you've been a leader in the industry for a while, so Do you take any special measures to convey that you support DE&I?
I do. I think in the way I treat people, and I lead by example. And I am the first one to talk about my own experience being younger in the industry when DE&I was not really as accepted as it is now, and having to have suppressed who I was for many years in my early part of my career. And I talk about that with people. I'm very transparent, and people can ask me anything they want about my experience of having come out in this industry. And there was a very rough period in my life, and I've gotten through that, and it was wonderful. It's wonderful now. So I think I try to lead by example, and I speak to everyone equally, because that's the way to break through any type of stereotypes or misinterpretations that others might have, because someone may look or behave differently, and that's not acceptable. So leading by example.
That's a great point. And when you say behave differently, that kind of leans into my next question, which is for the both of you, but maybe Jim, you can go first in this. Do you think the element of imposter syndrome or self-doubt creeps in if you consider yourself different in a room?
Absolutely. Oh, the imposter syndrome. Everyone is susceptible to the imposter syndrome. And it's not only, it doesn't relate to only DE&I, it relates to anything. I think if you're not yet feeling seasoned in your job, and it could be if you're in your 50s and you're changing jobs to a new role, you might feel a degree of imposter syndrome. I think that's normal, because I think many of us who are professionals, like I know Gabriella, certainly I could speak on behalf of her, strives to be her best every single day. And when you're faced with new challenges and the bar is being raised and you have to perform at a higher level, there's always that lump in your throat, like, oh, how am I going to do this?
Yeah.
So I've been there. It still happens to me every now and then. So the best way to countermeasure the imposter syndrome feeling is to reflect back at all the experience you do have and everything you have done in your life and your career that brought you to this day today. And all that experience has culminated to prepare you for what you're dealing with today, as daunting as it may seem.
That's a great point, and you're right. I think we've all been in rooms where at some point we felt inadequate, for lack of better words,
Sure.
and that need to prove. Gabby, what's your take on this?
I think the last point that Jim was just saying is truly it. Like, you can be there and you just have to be present, and it can be very daunting to be in that kind of room. But in the end, you are the only kind of person who is like you. So when you have that level of trying to reach a different bar every day, you have to remind yourself, okay, I mean, you can either sink or swim, honestly.
Right.
Like, you go through life experiences and you can only compare. Have I been through harder things? If the answer is yes, that means, okay, it's just another day. Take it on and keep moving. Or if you haven't, then look at this as a new challenge. Can you handle this? You have to always test yourself, or else you'll never move forward and grow. And the imposter syndrome, for sure, I think we all love to like call it of like, who are we? Who can we be? Who am I? People feel so lost and disconnected.
Yeah.
And we want to feed into that to try to find something else outside of us. But recently, I've been feeling more when I feel disconnected from maybe like confidence or what I could be. It's a reminder to actually come back to myself and think even deeper and feel even deeper of, I know who I am. I know what my value is. And I want to speak to others to understand what value can I bring, and vice versa. Because I just, like Jim said, I'm hungry for knowledge. I want to know what's happening. I want to understand what's going on. Where can we connect? And where can we build new things in this world, even just through a conversation? So imposter syndrome is a real feeling, but it's just a feeling.
True.
You can
And
move past it.
I also think if I could add to, I agree 100%, Gabriella, with what you said. And I think another way to help counteract that feeling, which is natural when we all do feel it at certain points in time, is to ask questions. So if I feel like I'm in a room where I feel different or I'm out of place for whatever reason, I'll ask questions of others in the room. So what do you feel about this? What's your opinion? What is your thought process that led you to this idea we're talking about now? So I can hear how they're processing the issue at hand that I may be less confident in speaking to. So I understand what their processing of the issue is. And then maybe I can pick and pull certain bits of that and use my own words to add to the conversation and contribute to the conversation. And before I know it, I've actually now made myself feel more comfortable and not as different in that room with others.
Yeah.
Right? So I think that's also part of this. Be open to listening and asking a lot of questions. And I've said this to many people that have been on my teams throughout my career. In our work, Gabriella's work, in my team at D-Lab, where people are selling to beauty brands, we have to speak to R&D chemists, product development people, marketing people, purchasing and procurement people, logistics and supply chain people. So those are 5 different mindsets. So
And Jim and I also do it with Japanese, in Japanese as well.
Yes. So we need to be able to speak into the listening of our audience. So if it's an R&D person, a technical person, we need to put our technical hat on, and Gabriella might draw from her cosmetic science background. I'll draw from my experience living in the lab, even though I'm not a chemist. If we're talking to logistics people, you have to put your logistics hat on and use different words and approach things differently. And I think that's part of being successful in this industry, is speaking into the listening of others. How are others going to hear what you have to say? Use some of their language to get your point across and be effective.
Yeah. I've noticed maybe this is just a personal thing, but sometimes I make it so much bigger than it is. Like the issue and, and like to Jim's point, maybe asking would like solve 95% of my issue right there. And the imposter syndrome also sometimes prohibits you to ask in that very moment, because you already feel that you're not enough. And then maybe asking that question validates what you feel. But just ask. I think that so amazing. I love that.
And it's so funny because there's the old expression that men never ask for directions, only women do. Well, I ask for directions. I'm not shy.
Okay.
Definitely not shy.
We love the outlier. We love that. Jim, you kind of answered this, but I want to see if you want to elaborate more on the fact that, do you think our industry is evolving with respect to D&I?
I do. I absolutely. You look at all of the men's makeup brands. Look at all the men wearing makeup, and outwardly so. Look at body art and how people are using tattoos to express their differences, their individuality, and how proud people are to do that. So yes, despite some of the looming climate that we have now politically, I think the beauty industry is very resilient. I think it's filled with very creative people who are accepting and embracing of all types of diversity. So I think we are continuing to move in a positive direction in the beauty personal care industry, definitely.
Okay, I love that. Gabby, your question is, what is your hope for D&I in the next 5 years?
My hope is that it will forever be a part of our culture and our industry. I mean, last night I was having a conversation because I saw a man with a blue manicure. And this was like a manly man. And I go, I love your nails. They look so great. And it sparked a whole conversation around me with other men and women about mani-pedis and what they like to do, what they're okay with. The men started asking questions. One guy was going on a mani-pedi date today. He's like, what do I get? And we're like, don't worry, they're gonna do your cuticles, they'll cut your nail. You can choose if you want a clear coat. Definitely go with a cuticle oil to nourish the barrier, but it's up to you. And it's like, I wouldn't have had this conversation even 6 months ago. Like, guys are like, oh my God, a manicure? Never.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's even one of my questions when I go on dates now. It's like, what's your skincare routine?
Yeah.
And I expect a real answer. It's like, that's the diversity that's coming in to make people understand that it doesn't matter who you are. We're all the same on the inside. And it's about taking care of yourself. It's about having hygiene and looking and feeling your best for yourself and for the world to show who you are. That's where diversity should be and continue to go in our industry.
Yeah. I feel like personal care is genderless.
Yeah.
It is.
Shower. Sometimes.
It is.
You know?
Also, I think holistic wellness is
Yeah.
very important. And I think people not only want to look their best at any age, people want to feel their best at every age.
Right.
And whether it's male or female or genderless is expecting to look and feel their best at every age. So it's holistic wellness from the inside out and the outside in.
Okay, so for both of you, what are you most excited about the beauty industry? And Gabby, you can go first.
Most excited. Well, I will say selfishly, products that we make that can go into the market and then we can touch and feel and use and recommend to other people. And it's all about bringing people together to highlight different niches and categories in the beauty industry of what hasn't been done before. And all these different ideas of like glitter freckles that took over for a long time. And I was actually, when I met the founder, I'm like, hey, have you ever thought about putting skincare into these freckles? And it's like, she's like, no. And it's a completely different idea that sparked in only the past couple years. So I think a lot of diversity and bringing different ideas to the beauty industry is really exciting. And it can create super fun, innovative products that people can try and use and test. Like Pat McGrath, I know that recently they launched that like glass skin mask, and it's this iridescent holographic like thing. But having these kinds of crazy looks that can be used every day or for an everyday person to apply, I think that's the diversity of beauty, to make people feel good and look good.
Right. What about you, Jim? What do you think?
I think I'm most excited about the advancement of technology. And even AI is now being used to build better molecules. So the consumer wants to address certain skincare needs. And in order to address those needs, you need efficacious raw materials and molecules that will be able to get to the functional parts of the stratum corneum to achieve the benefit that you're looking for, whether it's hydration, whether it's skin brightening, whether it's firming and tightness, whether it's hypo or hyperpigmentation. And I'm very excited to see certain companies out there that are using AI to rapidly formulate and develop new molecules that will be used in skincare products going forward that are going to make us all look and feel better. And me being in my mid-50s, I'm ready for them. Bring them on.
Not that you need it, but okay.
You're very kind. Thank you.
He's really 150. It's all
exactly.
of the skincare.
That's right.
And it's the science-backed ingredients. That's definitely.
He's very close to be called a vampire now because
Oh,
he
that's
doesn't
funny. I
age.
love it.
My last question to the two of you is one piece of advice to a budding beauty sales marketing enthusiast. And Jim, you could take that first.
I think that a budding beauty sales enthusiast, learn your product, learn the ingredients, learn about the science of the skin and why your product has a reason to be, a raison d'être. in the marketplace? How can your product be different, or how is it different from others? So you can speak to the functionality of the formulas that you are going to be selling. Same thing to do with ingredients. If you're selling ingredients in the beauty personal care industry, like Gabriella is a perfect example. She learned about food science, about cosmetic science, understands from a consumer's perspective because she's a self-proclaimed beauty junkie, as am I. Go to Sephora, go to Ulta, go to CVS, go online to the D2C sites, sign up for all the Instagram beauty pages and learn and immerse yourself in the industry, become passionate about it because it's such fun. This industry is such fun and so easy to become passionate about. So my advice is to really have fun with it, keep learning, and try to learn as many facets of the industry as possible, and you will be successful.
Amazing. Love that. What about you, Gabby?
My advice from the business side is definitely, as a salesperson, you're there to be the solution. You're whoever's in front of you as your customer, you're there not just to sell. Don't force it, but try to find a way that you can be a solution for them. Find a way to help one problem or a million and just be a helping hand and support system. And I think that's how you can bring the best customer service and make a sale. Because you don't want to force anything onto anyone and then in the end not build the right product or not have the right marketing tactic in the end. And then on the personal side, definitely be a beauty enthusiast. It is an amazing industry. It's full of light and creativity and fun. People always tell me, they're like, Gabby, she has the best job. In all of the friend groups, like, it's just exciting and it's only becoming more and more relevant and more people are becoming interested in it. So going to study, testing products on yourself. That's another thing. Test the products on your own skin so that you can feel it. You can understand the melting point, volatility, texture. All the sensorial aspects are also a key to what you speak to and then actually being knowledgeable. You're not trying to be a snake oil salesman and saleswoman out there. You want to actually sell something that's valuable and will bring value to yourself and to the people and customers.
Amazing.
Yeah, I agree. Gabriella, that's so well said. And I think that, using the products yourself, I mean, my bathroom looks like a spa with so many products.
I can imagine.
And my partner's like, okay, we're going to give you your own bathroom with your own shelves because this is getting to be too much.
Oh, yes.
So don't be shy. Try new things. Be open-minded. And also attend industry events. Go to as many industry events as possible. Gabriella does that very well. And my job sometimes doesn't allow me to go to as many events as I used to go to. I've kind of made a promise to myself this year to attend more industry events because that's what keeps you excited. It's having those impromptu conversations, bumping into people in the hallway at the Javits Center at Makeup LA, and what's going on, what are you doing, what's happening, and then all of a sudden it turns into a beauty conversation. And that's the joy of this industry, and that's how you learn and you stay connected.
Love that.
That's so real. Go to networking events. Go yap to everyone. My name's Gab for a reason.
My last request to you, Gabby, is unfortunately, Jim couldn't join us in person, but I've made this small request to our guests wherein they write a little bit about their experience on the podcast on the sticky note on your right. And then we'll make this into we'll put it into the jar. And then towards the end of the season, we'll just read what good thoughts you have or any thoughts you have for the podcast. So if you could just take that sticky note and write your experience. That'll be great.
Amazing. Did you see the way that my energy, when we paused, I already gravitated towards understanding? And I was like, oh, I wonder what that sticky note is. And you just called it out.
That's great. That's so great. What a great idea.
Thank
I'm going to
you.
do pink for Valentine's Day.
You
great
can choose
idea.
your color.
That's sweet.
It's I didn't want to limit the colors.
Love it.
And Gabriella's jacket is so perfect for Valentine's Day as well.
I know.
Gabriella is a fashion model. She dresses the part every day.
Love it.
May I say, I am actually walking in New York Fashion Week later this evening.
Lovely.
Fabulous.
Fashion all the way.
I'm not surprised.
Super interconnected. Beauty and fashion.
Yes, 100%.
So what is it that we have that Gabby has to write down again?
Just about her experience on the podcast. So then towards the end, I'll keep an episode where I keep some time just to read these chits. It's a good way of
thoughtful.
Yeah, I was like,
Can I tell mine to you verbally, or should I just text it to Gabriella and she can put it in the jar?
Text it to me.
you should
I'll
do
write
that,
it down.
Jim. Yes, that'll be perfect.
And let me know which color you want.
Yeah. I was like,
You could do
Whichever color.
You could do Valentine's pink. I'm good with
Another
that.
pink.
love. Thank you for listening to The Science Shaping Beauty. If you like what you heard, be sure to download wherever you access your podcasts. Visit nyscc.org for more information on our events and Suppliers Day. Registration is now open. We look forward to seeing you there. And until next time, keep shaping beauty with science.